Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Glam Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about rest in between sets, as far as, is 5 minutes too long to rest in between sets? Now, I just had somebody ask this in the comments, and it is an interesting question because they're saying, hey Jason, why do you train and rest, anywhere from 30 seconds to 5 minutes in between sets? Like, why is 5 minutes the upper end of the rest period for anaerobic type activity when it comes down to powerlifting or Olympic lifting or whatever it might be, right? Now, what I'm going to say to you is that it's not like resting 5 minutes is the highest amount of rest you can do. But one thing you have to consider, that if you rest too much in between sets or too long, you're going to lose your blood flow, as far as you're going to start to get cold, right? And if your body starts to get cold, then of course the risk of injury goes up significantly. So there are two schools of thought in this. Now, there are some people that say, hey, if you lift heavy all the time, such as the Bulgarian method, then you don't even need to warm up when you're lifting heavy weights. Like, there are certain stories of guys that were lifting massive amounts of weights, and because they train super heavy like that 2 to 3 or 4 times in a day and just do one set, they wouldn't actually warm up that much between sets or before their new sets. So it's almost like their body was perpetually ready to lift that weight. Now, for myself, I think that's a risky endeavor. I mean, some of you might be able to get away with that, but I would not recommend it myself. And therefore, if you're going to be taking super long rest in between sets for your strength training or power training, and you feel that your nervous system needs about 5 minutes rest or more in between sets, I'd say 5 minutes is more than enough when it comes down to getting that nervous system reset, and at the same time keeping the body warm enough that you're going to be avoiding injuries as much as you can anyway. And a lot of times I've found that 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes is more than long enough, and I find 5 minutes is pretty conservative. And I know some people say they need that. That's fine, like, just experiment a bit. But the one thing I want you to pay attention to is to make sure that you're not getting out of your groove and you're not losing body warmth in that area. You don't want your joints to get cold. You don't want everything to start getting tight. You don't want to lose that mind-muscle connection. And therefore, when you come back to the weight, it feels super heavy again, whereas maybe in the previous set, it didn't feel so heavy. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be connected to what it is you're doing. And if you're losing that connection, the risk of injury is going to go up. So that's why I find if you rest too much in between sets, it can be a detriment, because you may lose your groove. And I don't know why, but this just happens, you know what I'm saying? So I find that with squats, especially because there's so much coordination involved in squats. If I do a set and then rest for too long, or I get sidetracked or something happens and then I have to, put 10 minutes in between me and the next set, I make sure that I warm up again and get that groove reset. And therefore, when I go to train, it's going to be much safer because my groove is reestablished, right? So a lot of it has to do with that coordination, to make sure the coordination is firing on all cylinders. And therefore, you're not going to have some sort of weird tweak or some sort of weird thing happen to you because you lose your balance or something happens. Dog's getting in a truck there, making a lot of noise. So anyway, yeah, I hope this helps you understand why I choose 5 minutes between sets and not 10 or 15 or 20. Although there are people that do heavy, really low volume workouts multiple times in a day, and they find that that's a massive way to gain muscle. So that might be something for you to try. But yeah, let me know how it goes if you do try it. And thanks a lot for watching. And if you need to get hold of me, just go to Natural Glam Bodybuilding. And thanks to the patient supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.